Alright, you can probably hear me now, but it'll be terrible in terms of sound quality. But I'm just gonna fix the sound for you guys. 1 second. So once this Windows update, yeah, it's well, also you wait, guys. Let's figure this out. I mean, it should be working. Just don't know why it's not showing up. Ouch. Um, okay. All right, so testing the sound here, it should say it should be up, but I have no idea why it's not going up. Good job, Windows. All right, can't hear. So it should be. I'm just trying to make sure that my audio is good, but I think we will not have good audio today for some reason. All right, I hope you guys can hear me fine. Whatever. Apparently this mic is not working, so luckily I have a backup, which is great. But the backup kind of should not probably has really terrible quality. But anyways, cool. All right, we can hear you. It's okay. All right, let's get back. All right, so we're gonna do the stream. I'm gonna be yelling into this microphone, but hopefully the audio quality is fine. And yeah, let's get started. So welcome back to another episode of Box Mining. Today we are at Chinese New Year, so it's a very happy time for a lot of Chinese people. And also crypto markets are moving up. So I'll tell you a little bit of the story narrative, but definitely I want to wish you guys a very, very happy Chinese New Year. It is the year of the ox or the bull. So this is the year of the bull stickers, red envelopes. So habitually speaking, now when we meet people, married people especially, they have to give out these red envelopes packed with money, right? It's just such a Chinese thing, right? It's not really taboo to give money if it's in a red envelope. So yeah, so you're supposed to give money to like everyone that like you, even like security guards or employees or your coworkers, your family, kids. Yeah, so this is the year of the bull. I got these Bitcoin ones, which are really cool. So I thought that's cool. So thank you, Genesis Block, for these. I was also saying these are the random ones. These are some stuff that Um, it's very, very Chinese culture, right? So this one is like it just says be healthy. It's like the stuff they want, right? So you stick these on walls, like you're wishing people, this is like happy prosperity. You want to be very prosperous. This one you want to have a healthy body. This one I like in particular because it wants you to be smart. This one literally says don't be dumb. Well, kind of if you read between the lines, don't be dumb. This is why Chinese kids have so much pressure on them. How I grew up, kind of. But anyways, yeah, this is a great time actually. So, speaking of the entire narrative and everything that's going on, I think it's a very exciting time for the Chinese, and I'm looking forward to what happens after Chinese New Year, right? Because okay, typically speaking, everyone was afraid of the Chinese New Year dump, right? Because Chinese they need to take out money to give these red envelopes, these red packets. Also, it's a very long holiday for us. In China in particular, it's like 4 days off plus the weekends, plus people take extra days around that. So typically speaking, like 2 to 3 weeks, you can kind of see people just taking time off, right? So when people take time off, they typically, de-risk their investment positions, including Bitcoin. And typically speaking, there's a Chinese New Year dump. Well, this year that didn't happen, right? This year, this market, it's still going up like crazy. We just had two major big pushes yesterday, and it looks phenomenal. And you know why in particular I'm very excited for what's happening up next? It's because after Chinese New Year, during this entire holiday, right? Chinese people, they go back home to talk to their families. The exact same thing happens during Christmas and during Thanksgiving in the Western world, right? But what happens is people go back, they talk about blockchain, they talk about cryptocurrencies. They even last year, Chinese government, even on national TV, acknowledged that Bitcoin and Ethereum were the best performing assets. And then people are trying to figure out how do they get onto this, right? Some people have to realize that cryptocurrencies is very, very global. So this Asian fever, I've been saying for the longest amount of time that Asia is starting to become very, very bullish right now. This is like this event is mainly based in China, Chinese, but others celebrate it in different forms. So, anyways, it's based on the lunar calendar. That's why it's a new year for us. It's a new year for planting, planting seeds, growing, wishing prosperity. But anyway, so that's why I'm super happy today. This is why this episode in particular is going to be a lot more relaxed. It is the first day of the new year, typically speaking. I'm in pretty much like New Year mode, so I'm like, yeah. But and that being said, of course, let's take a look at the cryptocurrency markets today. I have some news to update for you guys. Let's have a chat. And yeah, let's be prosperous this year. And I was like joking, okay, this is a lame joke. This is a lame joke I'm telling everyone, right? So Chinese New Year this year is the year of the bull, right? Or people are saying the year of the ox. But no, it's not the year of the ox. It's the year of the 0x. All right, bad joke. Okay, terrible. Michael, you're lame. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's go. All right, taking a look at the markets today. And by the way, guys, if you just came in, please smash up the like button. I think I screwed up the start of the screen because my audio was broken thanks to Windows Update. But anyway, smash up those likes. Let's get the party started. So yeah, we're back up, guys. So Bitcoin back up. We'll take a look at the majors. Bitcoin up 6% in the last 24 hours. Yet again. So a lot of this I feel like happens because people were initially fearing that Chinese New Year dump. So looking at where the supports and the resistance are, I'm going to move my bar up. I'm going to say the support, we've been starting to see it at $42,000 and we're approaching this new all-time high yet again. So $48,000 for Bitcoin. And this is one of the situations where, I talk to my friends about Bitcoin and they think Bitcoin's still like at 8K. It's kind of funny. I'm like, let's talk about Bitcoin. And people who are uninitiated, they think, oh yeah, Bitcoin, it's at 8K, right? 48K. That's guys, it's going crazy. But think about this time. So after this fear of Chinese New Year is going to starting to subside, today is Chinese New Year, and then people are starting to get back into work, etc. Obviously, it depends on different people, but right now in the crypto side of stuff, like at Genesis Block, I don't think people are taking a break. It's kind of interesting. Like the institutional level side of everything, I think everyone is going ape to the wall right now. But normal people, the normies out there, they're going back home. But very potentially going to be talking about crypto. I think this year that's going to be on the discussion block, especially if you guys are familiar with what's happening in Asia as well. The Asia bull factor could be very huge because they're talking about digital currencies this year, right? DCEP, Chinese National Digital Currency, that's released this year. And in many ways, because it's inspired by Bitcoin and Ethereum, they've been talking a lot on the news publicly about Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for in this breakout, right? So we're nearing this level right now of $48,000. We're nearing that resistance. We see that we try to attempt to attack it on the 9th of February. We're trying to break through 50,000, like break through 48,000 and then break through 50,000 and above, right? So here at this current point, we're trying that again. And today I'm very, very bullish. Year of the bull, you gotta be bullish, right? So this is where we're kind of approaching right now. So in many ways, yes, for sure, I'm not, like I said last week, I was strategically de-risking right before Chinese New Year. And then after I saw that the markets were not moving down, I pretty much closed out any short positions I have. I don't think that's a wise decision to have shorts right now. And then that's my personal strategy, not financial advice, but that was kind of my take on everything. Now on Ethereum front, we pretty much have a very similar story. So big Ethereum also moving up, the year of the 0x. So we're moving up to around $1,800. Yet again, I feel like this year Ethereum has a lot to show for how it's been moving, right? If you actually look at it, Ethereum has so much going on in the DeFi space and development space, and not just DeFi, right? If you go on Clubhouse especially, you'll see what the discussions are these days. There's non-fungible tokens being created on Ethereum. There's also insurance. Insurance is a huge functionality. And in terms of decentralized finance, whilst the kind of the initial side is like borrowing and lending platforms, which kind of functions like a bank technically. Now there's a lot more leverage coming into play. So this is yet again taking a play from what's happening in traditional markets and taking that into crypto markets. So it becomes the capital efficiency becomes a lot more efficient, and you see the level of discussion as well. There's different discussion groups, but some discussion groups are very high top tier. They're figuring out how to maximize the use of capital that is flowing around in crypto. And why this is important is because this gives a solid backbone for Ethereum, right? Ethereum before when it started, people didn't understand it. Oh, programmable money, who the hell cares, right? Like I'm used to dumb money. This is kind of like the same thing my mom used to say when she was like holding her Motorola phone. It's like, right, she's like, I'm used to a dumb phone. Why would I need a smartphone, right? Why would I ever need something smart, right? Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's fine, but why would I need smart? Why would I need smart version of Bitcoin, right? Or smart contracts? Why? Like, it's not a binding contract. It's not legal contract. Doesn't make sense, right? But people are starting to realize now you can start developing this whole entire ecosystem on Ethereum that really mimics the functionality of traditional finance. And why it's a lot more powerful than traditional finance is because there's no centralized governing figure. A lot of people are realizing now, especially after the whole Robinhood thing, right? Centralized entities, they can suspend people from trading. They can cut out accounts. They can have regulations that only favor the big investors, right? This is something that doesn't happen on Ethereum. Ethereum is a level playing field for every single party member involved. And this is why in many cases, like I look at this banking infrastructure right now, especially Hong Kong, 20% of our GDP is on finance, right? That's could be migrated to blockchain. That's a $1 trillion industry, right? So anyways, it's a very big difference in numbers, and this is why I feel like Ethereum has that potential to grow right now. But obviously other blockchains also have it. Let's take a look at what's happening on the overall market. We've got XRP still moving up the last 24 hours. Let me just actually rank this actually. So let's see, 24 hours. Why is it not functioning? This is interesting. Huh. Oh, this is another mode. Let me just refresh this for a second. Wait a sec. All right, there we go. That's a behavior I'm used to. So we got Nano moving, got the graph moving, we got Enjin moving as well. Enjin just announced. Let me just quickly see why was Enjin. Enjin's one of the coins I'm holding, of course, and they're adding Microsoft Azure. So Azure was launching NFTs before that with Enjin. So yet again, it's Microsoft, right? So everyone's like freaking out about it. They were doing this before, but yet again, they're doing this for the Space Azure game. So they're actually adding a new game. So that's the new news here is that they're adding more. So Microsoft basically said initially, yeah, I kind of like this crypto idea. Let's create that for the Azure platform where they were doing like the community rewards. Now they're adding it to their space game as well. Yet again, this experimentation of using non-fungible tradable tokens to represent game items. This is such a big field right now. If you actually, yet again, the discussion on this, like the NFT space is amazing, it is crazy. All right, so in that sense, right, so Enjin moved up today. We got basic attention token Phantom. Vechain is also showing some love. Guys, I've been back holding Vechain for a long time. They're doing enterprise adoption, and yet again, it's a situation where it is much easier to achieve than global adoption of currency, right? That's a low-hanging fruit to get industry to adopt this, especially if you want to do anti-counterfeit, putting these assets on the blockchain. It makes a lot of sense, but it still takes time to adopt. The crypto trading space moves a lot faster than the industry adoption space, right? Which is why we see, this is why bag holding, it's hard, right? Bag holding through the tough and the wild, but yet again, this market is moving. We've got Yearn Finance also at $46,000. Holy crap. Yearn is moving after, how after the DeFi scare, this was when, yet again, people were scared because Yearn vaults were hacked for $1 million. Okay. Decentralized finance is a very, very big experiment. Unfortunately, people will lose money, right? These big vaults, these big, they almost operate like banks, right? And at this current point, because of how complicated these systems are and how they operate with each other, this is, like I said, like this is where it mimics the banking system. So in decentralized finance, we have these huge projects. Like Yearn can be considered one of the first DeFi blue chips, right? Decentralized finance blue chips. It's doing something phenomenal in terms of allowing people to deposit money into vaults and then executing strategies out, right? Deploying that capital, right? If you have capital lying around, there's no point, right? That's like pretty much logic right now. Like the US dollar, the banks, they deploy money, they deploy capital. Same thing with Yearn. But because of how they deploy capital, they need to interact with other systems in decentralized finance. This is where we talk about the big word is composability and how they interoperate. So in this case for Yearn, they had a minor hack and that brought the prices down to $30,000. But yet again, it's a situation where there were experiments, there were failures in the system, but people corrected for these failures and then they move on, right? So that's kind of how DeFi is working right now. So absolutely, like people were very concerned that there's going to be risk. This is like one of the biggest risks. This is one of the biggest playgrounds, right? This is not safe. But at the same time, it is the most amount of innovation. And yet again, it's not financial advice, but I've been watching a lot of interviews, right, from Chamath Vitaly. I can never pronounce his word properly, but this is the billionaire investor of this decade. And he's been talking, and a lot of his interviews make sense. I think he's been talking about taking risk when no one else acknowledges something. And this is something that you definitely see in decentralized finance, not just with Bitcoin, but with decentralized finance. A lot of people still don't understand what it is. Uh, Kind of interesting, right? So I've been in a lot of these clubhouse groups that talk about Dogecoin or talk about Bitcoin. You talk about the heavy elements in decentralized finance, people just don't understand it. But that's a good thing, right? Before I was like, oh man, it sucks that these guys don't share the same passion I do. But the fact that they don't understand it means there's opportunity, right? Because they don't understand it, because maybe they're a little bit fearful of it, now is a time to press on. And that's for me, that's my kind of agenda this year. If there's any New Year resolution I have, it's conviction and pressing on, right? Like pressing forward to kind of really be on top of that. That's why, yet again, like, Chinese New Year, I'm not really taking a break. It's about being on top of everything at this current point. So, anyways, if you guys need my motivation, that's pretty much it. Anyways, let's see. I got some comments coming in. We saw Shobo Baggins says, bag held Enjin forever. It's been a long time. Jason Wu says, Sunning Fi Law. So he's Happy New Year, which is great. I think Happy New Year to you too. Brian says, love to see you with a buzz on. LOL. Yeah, I'm very excited today. I mean, obviously it's Chinese New Year. It's a very happy time. And obviously markets are moving up, right? So I'm being pretty euphoric for the past few days, which is why I'm a little bit more cautious than usual. I've been telling you guys, I still have a certain degree of caution every time. Like, it's an emotional response. I think something that for me personally, I try not to be emotional when the markets are moving, but you do have emotions. Or I'm human after all. But the important thing is to just identifying that, right? I feel euphoria right now. Once you identify it, you can categorize what mode you are in and then fit that towards a greater strategy. So if you're euphoric and then you tend to make dumb decisions, then maybe stop making dumb decisions, right? Anyways. Bad example, but anyways, moving on. We got 100% into Pancake. Man, Pancake was just crazy. Like, yet again, it's one of those things, like if you're talking about altcoins and innovations and stuff, holy crap, sure, it's meeting some resistance right now, but the ride from like 40 cents to what, this is like $6 right now, it's just phenomenal. It's pretty insane at this current point. And so goes the same with the whole Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. And I guess I should talk a little bit about that. We featured that on Wednesday's stream, the whole Binance ecosystem, that's been growing pretty aggressively right now. In fact, when I introduce friends right now to crypto, right, it's always like, yo, check out Binance Smart Chain first because you can send transactions for like 2 cents, right? You can send interact with blockchain, not blockchain. You can interact using MetaMask. So the strategy I'm going now is like if anyone wants to learn how decentralized finance is working or how farms are working or how capital can be deployed by smart contracts, you can just go and use Binance Smart Chain, right? Because it's so much faster and cheaper to interact with it. It's a good practice. It's like learning how the nonce works or learning how the transaction works. It's a good like stepping stone. And I think a lot of people, when they first start off with Ethereum, especially with how Ethereum is going right now, yeah, it's very expensive. So I'm telling people just use it as a practicing ground, and also just trades going on. You can use PancakeSwap to swap your assets in and out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, right now transaction fees are still pretty expensive right now. For a medium contract fee is $24. So if you're interacting with Uniswap, it's going to be quite heftily expensive. But yeah, that's what. So if you guys are interested in starting out, I will do some Binance Smart Chain like tutorials. Yeah, that's a confession. I've been having so many ideas. I want to do tutorials for Binance Smart Chain. I want to just do more tutorials with help people get started, like FTX, Binance tutorial. Binance has changed so much since my last tutorial. I should do more, right? Do more to help the space grow. But I've been so busy with the whole trading aspect and also just taking a minor break for myself. Stuff will get done soon. All right. Stuff will get done soon. That's the way it is going. SGG man said, man, ETH is going to fall. I'm a big bag holder of Enj, and I see it as a risk being on ETH. Well, transaction fees need to get fixed very fast. And this year, a lot of discussion on Ethereum front, right? Whilst the transactions are expensive, why people aren't giving up yet is because there's two reasons, right? So you have Ethereum 2.0 coming out, all right? So Ethereum 2.0 is in phase 0 right now. So it's not operational, but it's already running, right? They're doing the kind of the generation of random numbers on there right now. Then once Ethereum 2.0 that comes out, that's going to be, my example of that would be like the big mega highway, right? That big mega highway is going to come and relieve congestion. The other way to solve it is via layer 2 scaling. That's like almost building like a sky infrastructure, flying cars, like it's going to be mega cheap, layer 2, right? It's not even on the ground, it's in the air. It's like, look up there, guys. That's coming up very soon, and people are talking about the different implementations, like optimistic rollouts, ZK rollouts. It is a minefield. Like I've been talking quite a bit on Clubhouse. That's one of the information points that I really want to figure out. Is basically how quickly can this type of layer 2 infrastructure be deployed, and what are the strengths and limitations? And that's one of the biggest research points, because it's going to come out somehow and it's going to scale Ethereum. We've already seen, and we've done a video on ZKSwap. That's basically Uniswap on layer 2, right? And Uniswap itself is going to have layer 2. And this is where like free transactions are going to come in play. This is where it's going to be pretty big. So I'm not going to give up on Ethereum. I don't think that's wise at this current point either. Some people are going to be worried. Polkadot's also coming, so if you guys are worried about that, but that is pretty much the case. So what we're going to do today in today's episode, in remaining time, we're going to catch up on some news, and then we're also going to catch up on some discussions as well to complete and wrap up this episode. So starting off with the news side, so we have Bitcoin price to hit 50K. I love these articles. So, this article got a lot of shares and likes, but we're going to see a lot of this, right? Breaking 50K is becoming the next big target for crypto. We definitely see dollar weaknesses too. Okay, dollar's weakness meets alt season. Such a great title. But dollar weakness, I guess the only news element, right? This is something that we all know. The only news is really just talking about the dollar weakness. This year, dollar weakness, dollars are going to get printed like mad. People are very, very worried about where to have their capital. Otherwise, they're going to get watered down, right? The dollar is getting watered down at this current point. Okay, we also have Twitter CFO says social media giant is considering whether to add Bitcoin to its balance sheet. So this came out, so this is an interview with Ned Siegel. Ned Siegel says he actually asked his employees and vendors to be asked to be paid in Bitcoin. All right, so basically he's saying, okay, if their employees and vendors want to get paid in Bitcoin, they're going to consider adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. This is actually there's two things, right? So first of all, it's a knee-jerk reaction to Tesla adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet, right? I mean, Elon really did it. He said, "Yep, I'm going to buy $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin with Tesla, and Tesla's going to own it," right? And then a lot of people are just questioning, okay, is this like, how does that even work? Why would a company like a car company want Bitcoin, right? But it's forward thinking, right? Why? Well, potentially in the future, what if employees request salaries to be paid in Bitcoin? What if vendors want to be paid in Bitcoin, right? You might as well just get your Bitcoin, war chest here already first. And then Twitter CFO is also saying, yeah, maybe we can consider that. It's on the table. We start to understand. We know for a while that Jack, the CEO of Twitter, has always been very friendly to crypto. In fact, like adding things like the hashtag Bitcoin, you get a little, orange Bitcoin logo next to yourself. Yeah, he's being very proactive in the scene, and people are starting to like a lot of the tech guys are starting to understand, this Bitcoin thing. It's not rat poison. Okay, so other news, we got America's oldest bank, BNY Mellon, will custody Bitcoin. So this is something that I didn't realize was very important. When I first started crypto, I'm like, yo, guys, just get a ledger. Okay, get a ledger, get a Trezor, whatever, get your own hardware wallet, custody it yourself. But the reason why these big banks custody crypto is important is because a lot of big funds, they can't self-custody, right? Because they're holding money on behalf of other investors. If a single employee has access to the ledger or to a hardware wallet, then bam, that money could be stolen very easily, right? Theft is a real issue. And that's why custody is becoming very important. Like institutional custody has been one of the biggest problems to solve, right? In 2017, pretty much all the hardware companies were trying to solve, how do we solve institutional custody, because this is big money, right? Institutional investors like are willing to pay. I mean, this is where New York Mellon University, they're not university bank, they're trying to they've already found a way to custody, and they're allowing people to custody their Bitcoin. So yet again, this is very, very much paving the way to greater adoption, so to speak. Now, Mastercard will support select cryptocurrencies directly on our network this year, says Mastercard. Yes, like yet again, we like this is a repeating theme of this year. I don't think this comes as a big surprise. I mean, Visa did it, Mastercard's going to do it. Yeah, you can just add cryptocurrency to that. And also Amazon. Amazon is saying, yo, guess what? Launch crypto payment product in emerging countries. This is going to be interesting too. I mean, Amazon has a huge footprint in the world, delivering stuff, but at the same time, they are getting charged massive fees when processing currency payments, right? So what if people can say, yo, in Africa especially, we've seen, I think this is in many cases a response to Africa's interest in crypto, right? If you look at Bitcoin as a search term, search term, you'll see that there's a lot of trend in African countries and in developing countries for the word Bitcoin. And this is very interesting. This is basically Amazon meeting that demand, right? Okay, so we have, let's see, let's switch that to worldwide. Wait, where's worldwide? There we go, worldwide interest. We got Nigeria being the top #1 search, right? So okay, there we go. There's my screen share. So Nigeria searching, Nigeria, not Australia. Nigeria is now #1 in interest in cryptocurrencies. So this is very interesting. So in developing countries, there is a lot of interest. Look at this world map, right? Look at where the interest is. It's not just in westernized countries, right? Westernized countries here, but look at that. Look at how Africa has a lot of interest. Kenya has a lot of interest. Saudi Arabia, Egypt. You have pretty much the whole of South America having interest. This could be a big way for Amazon to save up on currency transactions. Very, very interesting. But anyways, very, very exciting. So this whole interest in Bitcoin, you can see that interest over time as well. It spiked near January, but it's spiking yet again right now after the whole Elon thing, right? Elon Musk, he just like single-handedly punched up this entire crypto market. And now One thing I do want to say is you probably noticed that China is missing. That's because China is banned in, sorry, not China is banned. Google is banned in China. So this is why China is not showing up and reflecting on these search results here. So yet again, it's a situation where you have to take this sort of information with a grain of salt. China is, has its own search engine giants like Baidu, right? So you have to search the Baidu volume and the Qihoo 360 volume. Like they're the two competitors in China right now. We got Craigie 916 says Bitcoin is selling below market price in India. That's interesting. And then Alexander Vinograph says, didn't Nigeria just ban crypto? Who can ban crypto? Like who even reads news like that? Sorry for being a dick, but who believes that governments can ban crypto at its current point? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like that's just no longer something it's no like every time a country bans crypto, it's like India tries to ban crypto, right? Like didn't we see that circulating last year? China tried to ban crypto. Did it work out? Absolutely not. No. Okay. Anyways, but that's life. All right, so on other news, we have Duck Incubator starting. This is a lot of people are asking me about Duck. It's kind of funny. Duck and DuckDao, the two separate ecosystems. You have two coins. DuckDao Dime is where you get into conversations. This is required to get into conversations and required to get into new deals when they come out. And then Duck Token is for the new ecosystem. It's going to be where the value is, where the market making is for the entire ecosystem. And both of them are performing crazy amounts. I still remember there was a time when people were very, very worried. Like I did buy Duck, and people were very worried when Duck prices fell to 24 cents, right? They were like, oh my God, Michael, like, what's happening? I'm super concerned. And then now Duck is moving up to pretty much $1.59. But yet again, these are super high risk. All currencies, I would say, all belongs in the innovation zone. I'm just taking a page from Binance's playbook right here. Innovation zone. This is where things can go very crazy, and for good and bad. But at the same time, the risk is all yours. And this year, I'm less hand holding this year in terms of discussion. You'll probably notice that I've been very cautiously when I approach and talk about altcurrencies. I have a huge portfolio of them now. So like talking about these altcoins like DuckDao or Duck Token, like I'm holding quite a bit of these things right now. Like I said before, I hold around 40 altcoins. And also, by the way, the altcurrency market moved. Initially, I only wanted my altcoin portfolio to be around 30%, but it actually greatly outperformed my Bitcoin, Ethereum portfolio. So now, that portfolio size, right? If you're looking at that size of the altcoin holdings I have, that has grown almost like double, right, in terms of ratio too. So yeah, I'm holding a lot more altcoins. It's working out super well. Obviously, there's high risk, but high reward. Not financial advice. It's like for me, it's been a good lesson for me personally. Like, why not? With the amount of developments here, it's all about being able to learn about which projects can form the best technology and which projects can encourage the best community. Especially with these currencies, a lot of them are governance tokens or community tokens, and yet again, growing a community becomes a very valuable lesson for reals, for reals. All right, news side. Okay, so we got Uber also. I think every large company right now in America is like freaking out about Bitcoin because it's getting so much popularity. They're like, Uber won't buy Bitcoin with its cash, but will consider accepting it as payment, CEO says. You just wait, guys, just wait. It'll be interesting. Like right now, accepting crypto as payment is hard, but it's getting there. It's getting there, right? So recently we saw this as well. This is yet again one of my altcoins is Utrust. UTK just recently got onto Coinbase custody, and the reason why they're important is they're allowing people to directly accept crypto payments on websites and stuff. So they have vendors and they allow people to accept Bitcoin. And this is one of the big areas that I'm going into this year, right? So like exchanges, entry points into crypto, these are all things that were completely neglected during the last bear season, right? During bear, no one wants to use crypto. No one wants to send crypto. No one wants to talk about crypto. But right now people are talking about it, and this is where these businesses shine, right? If you want to have a reliable payment for Bitcoin, to accept Bitcoin, we're still very far from it. BitPay sucks, by the way. I've used it many times. It's like total trash. But this is where being able to accept Bitcoin, scan it, boom, enter that code in, you're good to go, right? I think scan it, not enter the code, scan the QR code, you're good to go. You can do that. And also tip, like I spend crypto a lot. Like every time I see there's a crypto option to spend on a website, I always use that. Just to show people that, I'm like, there are users for this. Like this is something that I appreciate you implementing this feature, right? And a lot of times a pro tip for this, right? A lot of times if you need to send ETH or send Bitcoin, probably more on the ETH side, or send USDC, it becomes quite expensive. So the pro tip will be just withdraw it from FTX, right? Because FTX withdrawals are all free. So I'm pretty much using FTX Exchange as a big wallet at this current point because they don't have any withdrawal fees. So thank you, Sam, for paying $20 fees for my $10 purchase. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, so all withdrawals, like that's why on FTX, if you click the withdraw section, withdraw USDC, there's no fee, right? Every other exchange will charge you like $10, $20 for fees right now when you withdraw. Anyways, fees are crazy. Also, probably why I'm also causing congestion because I'm getting free withdrawals and then Sam's paying the fee for me. Sam being the CEO of FTX, by the way. But yeah, anyways, if you guys are interested in FTX, referral code down below. If you guys are interested in Binance, referral code down below. I'll try to make guides. It's one of the ways the channel gets monetized via these referral links. Is where I generate a little bit of, tiny little bit of my revenue. And I guess goes to pay off a lot of the other stuff we've been paying off on this channel too. Like, I don't know why, but I'm paying like the Telegram, like Combat. It's like things add up. Anyways, guys, thank you for that. We'll do some cool stuff soon also. And yeah, let's continue on with the news. So let's see. Recently, a lot of people have talked about OIN Finance, OIN, and they've been doing a lot. In fact, they've been doing a few interviews on us. They recently partnered with Terra Virtua. NFT play, man. This is going to be a pretty huge ecosystem this entire space is building out. We got, okay, let's see, institutional DuckDao. We got all pretty much covered all the ground I wanted to talk about today, actually. People wanted to give Vechain some love. Let's check out Vechain, Vet some love. There's a lot of action today, like a lot of action. I think this is, I'm pretty excited. This is something that can, SwissBorg is up too. Like SwissBorg maintained this up. So good times, good times. All right, so we'll do chat and discussion. Enjin's up like 35%. It's insane. Whew. Like I feel like this is the one good and bad thing about crypto where like if you're invested a lot into crypto, like for me, I'm like I have a huge crypto holding, right? I mean, that's it's pretty clear that I've dedicated my entire time to crypto, right? Best decision ever, by the way. Just speaking of that, reflecting on it this year, right? It's kind of interesting because like this space, the amount of variation in your net worth is gigantic, right? If you're invested in the space, it's crazy to see these numbers fluctuate like mad, and being able to be very psychologically strong is very important, and this has been a primary focus of last few years to just figure out who I am, what I am. Yeah, I guess it's just philosophical questions, and I guess it's worth their time to invest a little bit in yourself. Like for me, I'm very sensitive to money, right? Like, my family was not very rich growing up. Like there were times where my dad would work at a fast food joint, make some money there. My mom was a student, and then she got a stipend, a fellowship, and stuff. And that's how the family got by, right? So there were periods of my life where it's not very rich, right? You have to go, like, especially when I was a kid, you just don't want to spend money, right? Your parents are all very sensitive to money, don't want to spend money. I still remember my parents having a car that had like almost like broken brakes, and we nearly crashed. So I grew up very sensitive to money, and now because the fluctuations in crypto are ginormous, right? Like every day I can look at my portfolio and be like, oh, yo, I'm up like this much, or yo, I'm down this much, right? Especially last few years, I've been down a lot, right? And just being psychologically strong through this is very important, at least for myself. I'm not sure if it's the same for everyone else. Yeah, tell me if this actually makes your emotions swing. And I think it's quite important to talk about, especially now I have a lot of new friends coming into crypto and they can't sleep, right? They literally cannot sleep. They come into crypto, they're like, oh my God, like this is like crazy, right? And getting used to it is hard. But anyways, I hope you guys can share like that. I think it's important to help people through that as well. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I feel like it's important to allow people to have a place to discuss. I mean, like I said, one of my banker friends, like he literally said his entire annual salary gets, varied in banking, right? He quit banking, but his old salary, that entire annual salary amount fluctuates for him up or down, right? So he can make an entire, year's worth of salary in 3 days, or he can lose an entire year's worth of salary in 3 days in crypto. And I don't know, that's hard. That's hard. It's emotionally hard to deal with, but yeah, that's why for the last few days I took a little bit of a break. Just looking at stuff. I've been doing some farming, been doing some aggressive farming on the Binance front. There was a Goose DeFi that was going up like crazy. It's insane, right? The amount of farming, the amount of activity, the amount of everything going on is just nuts, right? So being able to be okay with that, being able to kind of understand and rationalize and be able to and just an example as well, something weird yesterday. So there was a fight in the Telegram group, right? There's a lot of concern in the Telegram group yesterday because there were a few shares of projects that were very, very early stage, 8 projects, people just announcing new tokens, and then 6 hours later the project rugged, right? Literally pulling all liquidity, and anyone who put money in there just lost everything. And people were obviously angry and salty and just wondering why it's shared. It's hard times. Crypto, sometimes you share something, it goes up 10x. Sometimes you share something, it goes up 0x. A lot of times you don't have time to do the research. It's hard. This is where crypto doesn't become very easy, where the lines get blurred. I'm pretty sure the person who shared that, he didn't mean any malice. It was just like, oh, yo, check this out. But at the same time, how much responsibility is there and how rationally should people be in, right? And I've adopted a mentality that I'm pretty sure, this is yet another reason why our Telegram group is not private, I'm not opening it up, is because a lot of people can't handle that, right? Like, for me, just give me some feedback as well. A lot of people cannot handle being rugged, but for me, it's fine, right? Like, I can get rugged like 40 times. I'm still fine. That's because I'm allocating so little capital each time I do something stupid. But that's just standard practice. I'll never say like move like a 10% of my portfolio to a new project. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? I think I'm relatively cautious, good or bad, but probably not yeah, that's like, decent amount, but not like a crazy amount, if you get what I mean. But Vi Virtue says, bro, how is this not gambling? There's going to be a lot of like philosophical discussions also. I mean, if you look at the stock market, it's basically a giant casino, right? Big funds playing against each other with, all like very, very powerful strategies, all of them doing some weird math on the back and then trying to bankrupt each other, right? It's vicious. It's very much like a casino. It's very much like gambling. And it's not for everyone. It is not for everyone. Like there are times when you really want to feel like I want to gamble. I'm seeing friends do this too. They just like switch the meter, like leverage meter to 100x. YOLO, right? Bitcoin moves up 1%, then you double your portfolio. Bitcoin moves down 1%, all your money's gone, right? How is that not gambling? Well, it looks like gambling. Probably is gambling, but yeah, but at the same time, there's innovation and market and value creation. So I will say the argument for it not being gambling is because a lot of these projects are coming up with something very novel, very new. And that's what I'm looking for in the space. Very rarely do I go into a project that doesn't have anything new or novel or something to offer to build upon the space. I think that's kind of the guiding principle. I'm being like, if there's ever an investment thesis That would be my investment thesis, like no garbage, right? Then if it's just pure garbage, it's pure pump and dump, it's no value. But here there is value. There definitely is value. If you just look at the whole decentralized finance space, if you actually spend the time to look at what's being built on DeFi, like check out what Iron Bank does and how the capital deploys on there, or Alpha Homora, or YFI, or yeah, everything that's happening here. It's insane, right? So I feel like that's the only distinction, is that there is value creation, but of course, because of how market moves, you have to understand, or at least for me, that's what I tell myself anyways, that things can go wrong. Things can go very, very wrong. And this might be a giant experiment that doesn't work. You know, maybe it's too utopian, doesn't work. So, anyways, that's pretty much the discussion. I felt that was kind of fun. It got really serious towards the end, so moving to a very much lighter tone. TOC Samila says mic is not accurate, right? Sounds like a laptop audio. Yeah. This mic is broken today. Windows update. I couldn't fix it prior to the stream, so it sounds terrible. Apologies, but you know, stuff happens, right? We continue on. Asks, you're okay with 40 rugs? Yeah. Like I can get rugged a lot. I don't really deploy that much capital into new projects. Like I don't like, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like I'm not gonna make blanket statements either, but like generally if it's a new project that I haven't done research in and people are like, oh, ape into this, you know, I don't ape that much. Like at all. I do not ape that much at all. Like, yeah. Um but I do ape, I guess, which is why I don't want to make blanket statements like that. You know. Key Shore says, what's your favorite alt? I have like a huge bag of everything. Yeah, we'll talk more about alts soon. And by the way, thank you guys so much for donations. We got Vapor Smooth says, Essentia 1, please. Thoughts on small cap coins. I will do more episodes on this. Like, I know there's multiple requests for like altcoins and everything else like that. We'll do more. We'll do more. There's just that so much going on. Typically, my investment strategy for alts is that I'll enter a position that I think, like, especially if I've done interviews, I talk to the founders, I kind of gauge what tier they are in terms of people. I know this is like a very douchebag thing to do. Like, it's mean, right? You classify people in terms of like, oh, this is a tier 1 person, right? Or this is a tier 2 person. You know, this is how smart this guy is. And then there's like a god tier. Like Sam Bankman-Fried would be god tier, right? Like SBF would be like, he's like super smart, super aggressive, makes amazing plays. Like he'll be crazy. He'll be some people that you just learn the strategy from, prick his brain a little bit, you'll be smarter, right? Then there's like tier 1, which is like, you know, your top of your tier, you know, your typical Harvard or tier 1 university guys, or even tier 1 smart guys. I'm not going to classify university because university doesn't really tell you much, right? But people that generally speak well, they understand community, they understand the market, they understand finance, that will be tier 1. And then tier 2 would be people who roughly know what's going on. They maybe have elements that are very good at one side, maybe something like they're very good at community growing, but they don't understand a lot about finance. Or maybe they understand a lot about finance, which is the situation of Alpha Homora. They understand a lot about finance, but they don't understand a lot about community growth. And this is where you can go and help a certain project, right? So anyways, I kind of figure out what tier they are and how to kind of allocate capital accordingly. It's just magic, right? It's pure magic, and it makes, like, I feel like it's something that I've been doing strategically for some time, and it kind of works a lot. And it's how kind of finance works, right? You just kind of figure out, you know, how good a person is. But it also makes you a very evil person because you start kind of doing that with everyone you meet, and then you kind of just like, it's kind of a lot harder to have friends afterwards. But you know, who needs friends when we have money, right? Just joking. Okay, so we got Peanut Walters. Thank you so much for making my Friday great, Michael. Thank you so much, Peanut Walters. Please do have friends. That was really much a joke. Yeah, please do have friends. Please have family. Don't alienate all those guys. We got Goose Finance making a donation. Yo, Goose, what is up? Ghost DeFi saying thank you. All right. Well, we got Brian Denick. Thank you for the donation. Mind to help all people. Come on, guys. Come on. Relax. We're yeah, we got John Monroe says thoughts on LINA, linear finance at Box Money. They have potential, and you say only you invest in projects with promise. Yeah, I've taken a pretty large position in LINA, actually, to be honest, and that's grown crazy, right? LINA like 10x in the last few weeks or months or something like that. Like my mental picture of it is I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I'm hodling. Diamond hands. Diamond freaking hands. We got lots. John Monroe, thank you for asking the question like 8 times. But at the same time, guys, please be reasonable with chat. I'm not going to do this every time, but I know a lot of people are making these large requests. If you do make like 3 requests in the same second, I will ban you from the chat. So John, I know you want me to talk about linear. I'm invested in linear, absolutely, but please have respect for people on this channel too. And we'll, yeah. Just don't be a douche, right? Don't be a douche. Like that's my life policy, right? Don't be a douche, right? Don't be a douche. Sarah says, taking a word. Thank you guys for your donations, by the way. Really, really respect that. I'll try to cover as much ground as possible, but at the same time, at this current point, with the whole altcoin season, like the whole altcoin space growing like this, I can't cover every single project. So I just want to make sure our expectations are met. So I'm gonna start. You know what? I'm gonna start kicking people out for certain things. Yep, thank you so much, mods. And let me turn on slow chat because let's go slow chat. Sorry about this, guys. Like, let me save that to 15 seconds. Slow chat has been deployed. Emman Coleman says, "Don't be a D." I think it's a crypto thing, right? A lot of people are excited. Like this is the other hard part too, right? Last drop, right? When people get super excited about something and don't have respect, that's usually a sign when they want to dump something, right? Like they're pushing something to super hard, and then what's the reason for that, right? Like this is where the mind games come into play, right? If someone's super pushing you super hard, you always pull back, and that's what I've always do, right? Every time a salesperson comes to me and pushes a product onto my face, I'm like, yo, all right. Like same thing in crypto, right? Same thing. People push, yo, what's your thoughts on this? What's this? A tier 1 exchange, fully audited, bunch of words. Like, calm down, bud. Like, let's do the research. Let's talk to the guys. Like, it's life, right? So have some respect, guys. Have some respect. All right. So yeah. Can you explain how to use layer 2 on Ethereum? There's going to be a lot more coming. If you want an example, the best video for that would be actually a recent video I published recently on ZKSwap. Yeah, that gave you an example of ZKSwap, and I think this is one of the first ones there too. So like moving assets from Ethereum and then moving that onto layer 2. So you deposit it onto layer 2 and then withdraw. I think this is going to become operational very soon. Before it was testnet. Yeah, it's still on testnet, so you need to be on Rovston. So let me go on Rovston very quickly. So right now this is like a demo, but I think that's a very good question. So the only difference I would say with layer 2 is that there's a extra step in there, right? So when you need to deposit onto layer 2, and then like you can deposit a token, deposit that onto layer 2, and once you're on layer 2, the transactions are like that. It's instant. It's not only instant but free, right? Or like as close to free as possible, depending on how it's set up. Lots coming there, so it is an extra step, and it depends on which one is going to be crazy. That's why there's like 3 technology variations of this. It's going to be crazy, anyways. Johnny Stoller says, okay, I'm going to answer a few more questions and that's going to be it. Johnny asks, what are the downsides of Coinbase? That's a good question. Coinbase. Okay, so Coinbase is going the institutional route. They are going the very strongly fully regulated, which is good and bad, right? It means that they have the more stability in the space. But at the same time, all right, this is for people who have been in the space for a long time. They don't really like it because Coinbase reports everything to the IRS or to the CRA, to the relevant tax agencies. So I'm not telling people to tax evade, but it also makes your life very, very difficult to report your taxes properly, right? Because every single trade is logged and reported. It becomes a big issue. Like, what if like a $10 trade? Like, what if you click a button and click cancel, but $10 got traded? Like, there are these issues that people brought up to me. This applies to certain groups of individuals that are either in America where there's capital gains tax. For me, I will be honest, very, very honest with you. I'm in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong, tax is not as big of an issue because we do not have capital gains tax here. So everything that we make on the market is ourselves because we take like that. That makes logical sense, right? We take the risk, we make the money. Don't tax us, please, bro. But yeah, but there has been people like I've you definitely know like some people. I think even Heidi from Crypto Tips, right? Crypto Tips Heidi. Um she got a new passport. She bought Nevis. I think it's Nevis, but anyways, check her video. She bought she I think she's renouncing American or something like that. So then she won't get taxed. But anyways, but that's the only disadvantage. It depends on which tax jurisdiction you're in and how much you want them to be talking to each other, if that makes sense. But yeah, FTX is also great, but obviously there's going to be a limitation to how much there is. And then there's also going to be yeah, lots of other stuff coming on there as well. So anyways, that hopefully that answers your questions. Angela one says Heidi got sane kids. Okay, yeah, so Heidi got sane kids. You know when people are very well off in crypto when they start buying passports. Anyway, just saying, right? Just saying. All right. John Morrell says, I apologize for my spam. I really wanted your thoughts. Thank you, John. Yeah, I'll give more thoughts. I'll definitely prepare more for the future as well. Thank you so much for the donations, Sarah, as well. I'll take a look into the world, but I have no idea what it is. I'll be honest with you, and I definitely don't want to feature something I don't know what it is. All right, and I think that's pretty much it for today's stream. So, hey, Fat Choi, share the love, year of the bull. It's gonna be a great year. I can feel it. I feel it in my bones, man. This is gonna be an insane year. The amount of space, like conviction really paid off for me, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It is great, and it's not going to be great for everyone, I would say. Manage risks appropriately, find a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. Manage your risk appropriately. I'm sure some people are going to lose a lot of money here. I can smell that already. That's why there was a big hot sigh. It's like this market is moving up great, but recognize that this market already pretty much 4x to 10x or 100x depending on which coin. So be very careful, guys. Be cautious. Yeah, I mean, someone's going to lose money, some people are going to make money, but you want to be the smart guy. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for talking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on. Our next live stream is going to be on Monday. Let's see, let's get Monday. By the way, guys, thank you guys for all smashing up the likes, guys. Really appreciate it. We got 242 likes. Really, really appreciate it, guys. Share the love, guys. And yeah. 3Gamer asks, how do you get information about new ICOs or IDOs? Any website? Clubhouse. Clubhouse is where it is at, man. Like, just spend, like, anyone who really wants to go into crypto, generally speaking, I'm like, yo, just go on Clubhouse. Reason why is because it's like a big conference, so you get to talk to a lot of people and get a very good idea of what's happening. And a lot of people who are creating their own projects, they'll start sharing information there. So yet again, like conversation, keeping your ears close to the ground becomes very important. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I'm creating my next live stream, so I hope you guys can Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cryptocurrency. See live stream. That's coming up on Monday, so make sure you guys are staying tuned for Monday live stream. Let's do that. There we go. Create. Magic Turtle says price go up, price go down, and go up again. Jason Wu says no clubhouse. Just come on. We'll try it. We'll try to do sharing thing. We try to share as much invites to as many people on the box mining um, Telegram group as much as possible, but we will try to share as much as possible. I pretty much burned out all my invites, inviting everyone to come in. You get like 5 invites every week or something like that. Yeah, Clubhouse is where a lot of crypto discussions are right now. Magic Turtle says, I'm a Clubhouse hater. We have better voice apps, but not hip, obviously. It's not about being hip. Like for me, like I almost never like hate a certain product anymore. I know some friends are like very anti-Apple or anti-Android. Like, heck, okay, let me show you this, all right? I'm not anti anything, all right? If you guys want phones, here's my stack of phones, right? Like, fuck me, like, here's a stack of phones I own, right? Like Android, Apple, whatever, I don't care, right? Like, just be smart. Never be emotionally compromised because of a certain like mindset, I would say. Like for me anyways, like people are like PS5 or Xbox, buy both. Like if you want to test them both out, like especially if I'm a game designer, buy both. Right? Like it's no nonsense. Like no there doesn't need to be tribalism there, right? Like if you're yeah, anyways, that's my 2 cents, man. Like I had a discussion yesterday, I was so frustrated. One of my friends was like, oh, I'm Android only, I don't use Apple. Okay, fine. Have fun saying poor, right? Um, so that's my 2 cents. Jason Wu says, WTF, are you a taxi driver? I had a problem, right? Like I bought this phone because I thought, oh, cool, this had like a 100 megapixel camera. That's pretty cool, right? This one was the one with the wallet that no one uses, the one that everyone was hyping about last year. You know, Finley, right? Oh man, I was like, it was a nice try. It was a nice try, but no one really wants a hardware wallet on their phones, right? Especially if you don't release phones every quarter, it doesn't really make much sense. This is just an old iPhone. This is a Samsung phone that had that I was using to try to get the Enjin wallet. This is an old iPhone. This is my current phone, but yeah. Cryptogram says tribalism is dumb. Save it for sports teams. Club Rental asks, "What is Clubhouse?" Clubhouse is just a chat app. It's like it's like people can form in chat groups there, and it's audio only, so people just chat. Yeah, it's where a lot of the discussion is right now. So, anyways, just good. Bruce Leo says, which Clubhouse groups? Just go into every one. Like, there's like the hashtag DeFi groups. Join my groups, if you're there. But you know, there we go. Right. So that's pretty much it for today. My personal take on everything. Any thoughts on Dodo? Yes, I hold Dodo. That's what I'm gonna say for now. Dodo seems pretty cool. Um, Zero Off says BNB good for a long-term hold. It's hard. It's been up quite a bit. Um, like I have a huge stack of BNB because, like I said, I put it on my medium bags video. I got it at $18. Um, you know, it grew up crazy amounts, and I think a lot of reasons. I gave you guys the reasons for it, right? Because of Binance Smart Chain, because of everything. I think it's it's moved up. So this is why the only reason why I'm cautious is because it moved up a lot, right? From 18 to 40 something or 120 something, right? Like it's crazy. That's the only reason why I'm saying, look, I'm euphoric right now. I'm gonna put on some brakes, but I don't think I've sold much at all. Like I think I de-risked like 5% only. The rest I feel like the exchange itself, because they're getting new signups like crazy, right? And being the biggest one out there, yeah, I don't see any reason why I should de-risk too much of that. So my 2 cents. Anyways, I think that's it. Not financial advice, anyone. Binance will go up forever, says Jason. Love people's enthusiasm. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. That's pretty much it. Executive team says, is your this group is your this group closed? No, it is not. But yes, put it down on there's Discord group, Telegram group is closed for now. Clubhouse, just find me. I'm at Box Mining. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it for today. We'll be back here tomorrow. I'm pretty much not celebrating Chinese New Year anymore. Just gonna do some stuff today, and then, yeah, like tomorrow back to crypto, and we're good to go, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching today. Okay, let me share tomorrow's post. Right, let me share tomorrow's post. We got Monday. Share it. Share that. All right, so this is Monday's stream, so I'm gonna share this in the group with you guys. But hope you guys can just click this, set the reminder up for Monday's stream. That really helps the channel grow. I'm trying to do all the YouTube-y things there. I've been pretty much like neglecting that. I cannot pronounce words today, but yeah. There we go, sharing that up. So yeah, just click the set reminder for it. Lots of exciting stuff happening. I'll hopefully see you guys soon. So we're doing a really great chat. I would definitely wish you guys a happy New Year, especially for this one. So this one, let's see. We gotta get the prosper one here, right? Da da xi li, right? Like prosperity, health, right? Health, prosperity, and then don't be dumb. All right. Health, prosperity, don't be dumb. That's all. That's as Asian as it's gonna get. All right. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later. And we got a last question that says, Krebs Park says, what's your channel, Box Mining? We started off with mining, but it's pretty much mining information now. It's box mining. It's mining information. And with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys.
I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Box Mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Box Mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on the day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.